Look, there's this one thing we all seem to figure out only when it's entirely too late. It's literally the one thing that absolutely no amount of money, no level of genius, and no raw talent can fix once it's gone. In this explainer, we're diving straight into something so fundamental to your existence that it's surprisingly easy to ignore. We've got to explore this together because once you see this clearly, I promise you, it completely flips how you view everything else. Let's just get right to it. You are not running out of money. You're not running out of chances or opportunities or next week's or next year's. All of that, it's just a distraction. That's the noise of everyday life tricking you into focusing on the wrong scarcity. What you are actually running out of is time. Period. That's the absolute, unshakable truth of human existence. But, here's the truly terrifying part about that fact. We can't feel it leaving. Think about it. If you were losing money from your bank account every single day, you'd panic, right? You'd feel it immediately. But time slips away completely unnoticed. So I want you to honestly think about the last month of your life. Like, really, truly think about it for a second. How many of your last 30 days were actually lived? How many of those days were swallowed up by just scrolling, waiting around, or telling yourself that comfortable little lie, I'll just start tomorrow? We wake up, we go through the motions, we go to sleep. And somewhere deep down, there's this voice, a really quiet, persistent voice, whispering, "This isn't the life I wanted." But what do we actually do? We silence it. We numb it out with another Netflix binge or this artificial sense of busyness, just feeding ourselves the delusion that we've got plenty of time left. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the battle going on inside your own head. Look, feeling stuck isn't some moral weakness. The problem you're facing isn't that you don't know what to do. You're smart. You know you should wake up earlier, you know you should read more, work harder, and cut out the junk. But knowing and doing are two wildly different things purely because of your biology. Your brain is literally hardwired for comfort. It actively avoids pain, it absolutely craves familiarity, and it will always, and I mean always, choose the easy path. If it's a choice between, say, writing that novel or watching 3 hours of a baking show, your brain is going to choose the easy dopamine hit every single time. And in a modern world, precision engineered to distract you, your ancient brain barely stands a chance. But hey, hear this loud and clear. You aren't stuck because you're weak. You're stuck because you've never actually seen what's at stake. Which brings us to Section 1, the harsh math. Let's look at exactly what's at stake here. When we map this math out, it's honestly pretty staggering. Find your age group here. If you're 25 years old right now, you have roughly 20,000 days left to live. That's it, 20,000. If you're 35, you've got maybe 16,000 days left. 45, you're looking at fewer than 13,000 days. Just let those shrinking numbers sink in for a second. Every single one of those digits is a day you are going to spend on something. The question is, on what? You see, time doesn't feel like it's running out because it disappears so incredibly slowly. It's one wasted hour here, a lazy Sunday there, one more month of almost starting that big project. It's an invisible leak. Imagine a massive water tank with a tiny, microscopic hole at the bottom. Drop by drop. It's silent, it's constant, unstoppable. You don't even notice the water level dropping until one random day, the tank is just empty. And you're left standing there wondering where the heck it all went. Okay, take a breath, because here is the realization that changes absolutely everything. The tank isn't empty yet. You still have today. You are right here, right now, in this exact moment. And what you choose to do with today, these exact 24 hours, shapes literally every single day that follows. You still have the power to plug the leak. Okay, let's dive into this. Section 2, 3 steps to start. Here is your practical antidote to that invisible leak. We've got 3 exact steps to get you moving. Let's start with step 1, feel the cost. Most of us completely misunderstand motivation. We only focus on what we want to gain, the money, the fitness, the success. But I want you to completely flip that. You need to start feeling what you are losing every single day you sit around waiting. That hour you just spent aimlessly scrolling, that wasn't just an hour lost. That was a literal version of yourself that could have existed, just slipping away into nothing. You actually have to feel the sting of that cost to wake your brain up. And that brings us to step 2, shrink the start. Remember how we talked about your brain loving comfort? You aren't failing to start because you're lazy. Actually, scratch that. It's more like you're failing because your goals just feel way too massive. So your brain hits the emergency brake and runs right back to what's easy. Don't try to change your entire life today. That is a total trap. Instead, look at these tiny steps. Read just 1 page.
Do one single push-up. Commit to exactly 1 hour of deep focus. Make one honest decision. Bypass that comfort trap by shrinking the start so incredibly small that your brain doesn't even have time to get scared and talk you out of it. Which brings us to the third and final step. Where your attention goes, your time goes. And where your time goes, your life goes. Please, take this seriously. You have to protect your attention like your life depends on it. Because, well, it literally does. Every app on your phone, every little notification ping, every infinite scroll down a timeline, none of that is free. Tech companies are spending billions of dollars engineering these tools to exploit your exact psychological vulnerabilities. They are quietly buying your time, and they're doing it using your own desire for comfort against you. You are literally trading days of your finite life for cheap dopamine. Guard your attention, put up walls, protect it ruthlessly. Because listen, you weren't born just to survive, pay bills, and fade away. You absolutely weren't put here to scroll through everyone else's highlight reels while your own life quietly passes you by. Think about any great person you've ever admired. They had the exact same 24 hours in a day that you do right now. They dealt with the same crushing doubts, the same modern distractions trying to pull them away, the same overwhelming temptation to just say, I'll do it tomorrow. So what was their secret? They chose to move anyway. Not because they were perfectly ready, not because the path was easy, but because they understood a truth most people go to their graves never learning. Waiting for the right moment is the ultimate mistake. There is no perfect moment. This moment, the one you're in right now, is the only one you are actually guaranteed. Someday, and I promise you this, that day is going to come way faster than you think. You're going to look back at the entirety of your life. And in that final moment of reflection, all the excuses, all the delays, all the streaming binges, they're all going to fade away. The only question that will actually matter is this: did I use my time, or did I let it use me? The good news? You still have time to shape that answer. But you don't answer it tomorrow. You answer it today.